All right, guys, welcome back to the channel. And in today's video, I wanted to cover my updated settings here for season 2 of Black Ops 6. I haven't made a settings video in over an entire season now, and there's been additions that I think are necessary to cover, such as sensitivities and some smaller other settings in the graphics department, the controller settings, things of that nature. So I'm going to start here in the controller settings. I'm going to cruise through this, though. It's not going to be anything too long. I am on controller, obviously. I've been on controller my entire life. I don't plan on changing anytime soon, but here's where some of the settings did end up changing, and I'm at 1.6 now, which I do believe is 8.8 from the previous settings. I don't know why they changed this. This seems a little overdoing it, I suppose, but I'm at 1.6 and 1.6. I don't change any of the other things here when it comes to settings, but I actually wanted to show you dead zones in how to test them. So I'm having some right stick dead zones, which I'm sure many of you are aware. Your stick moves right or left. And if I turn the test on here, I want you to watch the right stick. I'm gonna move it right now and you'll see it's shaking a lot. I do have a little bit of stick drift there. Nothing crazy, actually. It could be a lot worse. But you can see, well, the left stick's fine. I do have a little trouble sprinting. You can see it doesn't reach the entire edge of the bar. So I do have that turned down a bit, but the right stick is the big problem. So I'm gonna turn this off now. We're gonna slowly move this up. You're gonna see the red bar slowly start to show itself as you get up there. I don't think I need it that far, but I'm going to set it to 8. We're going to run another test. We're going to run the stick, and you can see it is sitting at 0%. So that is how you actually test your dead zones. So over here in the aiming tab of controller, this is where you find things like look inversion. I'm a weirdo. I use look inversion. It's just how I started playing Call of Duty. Stuck with it ever since. That's a little weird, but we do have some important settings in this aiming tab. First and foremost, make sure if you guys are in controller, you turn on target aim assist. If you don't run that, you're putting yourself at a significant disadvantage. And then when you click on right here, aiming advanced settings, there's some further settings you need to turn on. So personally, I like to have my ADS sensitivity transition. It's like how fast you transfer from enemies. I have mine at gradual. I find myself more accurate that way. And then my aim response curve type, I set at dynamic. It's the dynamic aim assist. It's like people running side to side. The stickiest aim assist, in my opinion. Then you want to turn that all the way up to 1. For the custom sensitivity, presume, I actually don't change anything here. That did change. I did play around with that a little bit, but overall, I just have that set at 1 right across the board. So over in the movement tab here, I personally run tactical sprint assist or auto tac sprint. So I turn that on there, and then you want your sprint assist delay set to 0. That's how you automatically activate the tactical sprint, so you're not jamming your button in the controller. Like I said, I do have sprinting problems on my controller, so this helps me a ton. And then I have the sprint assist for both forwards or backwards and sideways turned on there. Obviously, that's all preference stuff, but just showing you strictly what I am running. Mantle assist, I do have turned off. So again, this is another preference thing, but I don't like the fact that I could jump into something and then mantle over it while I'm shooting. It's just not it for me. So I do have that turned off. The same with crouch assist. Corner slice I have recently turned off because I learned some new information about it. So the corner slicing doesn't show up on the enemy screen. Whether you have it on or off, you're going to look the same. So that being said, I turned it off. I'm more accurate in not running that corner slice. But again, it's a preference. But if you're undecided, turn that off. I think you're going to actually see some performance. I know a lot of people in the slide and dive behavior do run hybrid. That's a little too many buttons for my old butt. So I like tap to slide so I could still have the ability to dive, but I slide far more than I dive. So hybrid isn't something I'm into, but I do have my slide dive activation set to medium, just right in the middle there. Perfect for me. And other than that, there's not really much that I need to cover here. And the rest of that, we're going to slide over to combat, where again, this is nothing that I really cover. Honestly, this is all like Warzone stuff. So nothing that I personally have even changed. I haven't played Warzone even once since Black Ops 6 come out. Over here in the graphics tab, there are some settings that console players do need to pay attention to. So if you're on PC, you can copy these down if you want. I typically go for frames over like over like graphical settings. So keep that in mind. If you're just looking to copy them down, feel free to do so. But I will let the console players know exactly what they need to be paying attention to. But when it comes to the PC guys, you guys can just copy down what I'm running here. I do get very good frames on this game with these settings. So yeah, I mean, I don't know what else to tell you there. We do have our upscaling. I do run fidelity casts. There's a lot of other settings here, but I didn't touch any of this, to be honest. I just run fidelity casts. Scrolling down further, again, there's nothing here for the people who are on console, again, if you guys just need to pause to copy down settings, definitely do that. Motion reduction preset, turn this off. This is where we're getting into some console settings. This is like honestly insane. It makes me feel motion sick. If you don't turn it off, your character's moving a lot. I personally have my FOV at 110. I find that you don't need to run 120 in multiplayer. None of the maps are really big enough to be running 120, but again, it's a preference. Make sure your field of view, ADS field of view, is set at affected. And we're going to scroll down here. World motion blur and weapon motion blur, turn those right off. Realism is not what we're chasing. We're chasing performance. And then you're going to want your movement speeds or movement camera effects to least at 50, so your character isn't just jumping around everywhere. I think that's basically it for... I think that's basically all the console settings, to be honest with you. I know you guys do have sharpening tools, so make sure you guys turn fidelity caps on and turn that up. There's nothing really here in audio settings that you guys should be looking at, to be honest. I did just want to run through if you guys wanted to see exactly what I'm running. Personally, I turn the gameplay and cinematic music volumes off because if, for example, I play a lot of rank play, if I jump into a game of search and destroy, it's going to have that cinematic music playing when it's like a 1v1 or it's the last player live or towards the end of the round. You're going to miss audio cues by running that music. So the gameplay music, I believe, is what that is. I'm not 100%. And the cinematic music is, I think, like the music, like the menu music. I'm not sure, but I turned them both off because I don't want to hear any of the music. It's cool to hear it when the game first comes out, but when it comes to performance, you probably should turn those off. So we're now in the interface settings, and there's nothing really to cover here other than a small couple of things. So color customization here is in the readability tab. And there's a few things. This is where you can change colors and stuff like that. I used to run green. I did change it back to red. I find that I do actually see the enemies a little better in red in this game. Green has been my go-to basically for the past 4 years because it felt like the enemies stood out, not so much in this game in particular, but if you want to change your colors, this is where you're going to do so. And you're going to want to set your color filter here to 2, color filter target to both, and then you're going to want the intensities of both world and interface set to 100 to make your game pop a little further and make it very easy. I did used to play around with some of the mini-map settings, but honestly, I just went back to the classic. I changed it to square, and I called it a day. Make sure you do have it on square, though, because it makes the mini-map just that much bigger. So that's all I got for you guys for the settings. If you have any questions, like specific questions, you guys go down in the comment section and let me know. I'm not very good at this settings type of video, but I always get asked to cover them, so that's kind of why I am. If you, again, any other questions, go down in the comment section, let me know. For those of you looking for a gameplay, it's going to be coming up. We're going to feature some settings, experiment around with an interesting setup that I've been working on, and I think it's a banger, so you guys can be the judge of that. Without further ado, let's jump into that. Make sure you guys hit the like button. Make sure you guys hit the subscribe button. We're about to fry. So since I'm doing a settings video, I kind of wanted to change it up a bit and walk you through my process of how I test and create my setup. So for an example, this is my first iteration of my rapid fire aim as build I wanted to try out. So basically what goes through my mind here is how can I create something and improve upon it? So the plan here obviously is to improve upon the current build I have if I can. This could be the best iteration. Sometimes that happens. But the whole point is just to create something to improve upon. So you guys are looking at the first iteration of my rapid fire aim as, and this is something I've wanted to try out for a long time, but I always thought the recoil would be a little too rough for it to be even remotely viable. So like I said, it is my first iteration of it, and so far it feels pretty good. The recoil doesn't feel too sporadic. It actually feels manageable, dare I say. Not to say that it will stay manageable, because there's a lot of testing that needs to be done. Long range gunfights, things like that. On a recoil front, I don't know how I could make it better. That's not something that... Oh my goodness, it feels great. Hold on. I don't know how I would make the recoil better, but I don't know if I want to make it faster paced per se and focus far less on recoil. My team is on a new level of pub stomping. My goodness gracious. I mean, the score is insane. I'm hitting my shots right now too. Oh boy, am I hitting my shots. They can't even stay on the hill for more than 2 seconds. This is the definition of the blender for the opposition. Definition. All right, there's exactly what I was looking for. That was my first real long-range engagement, and it didn't feel great. But at the same time, is it necessary for me to take long-range engagements for a weapon that I'm going to be taking closer range engagements with? That's the real question. It hits people off head, which is fine. I hope there is some pushback here because I would like the game to last a little longer. Push comes to shove, I'll 100% do a second game. Kind of hoping I don't have to do a second game, to be fair. Sure. Ooh, good kill. Yeah, I mean, so the fire rate definitely helps at close range, but it clearly didn't help there. It's going to take a lot of experimenting. The only thing I say about his experimentation is going to be in the works with that. All right, we can definitely hellstorm this. We have received a bit of pushback. I heard him last second. I was gonna say I want to get all the way around the back there. Damn, that guy's got some beams on him. It's the same guy that just killed me from before. They did push back a bit. I'm happy for that. I keep forgetting I'm not running the 30 round mag. Normally I run that.
Enemy UAV inbound. Hostiles attacking the hard point. Hard point located. Hard point is secure. Firing for effect. 16 rounds. Hard point is active. Hostiles at the hard point. That's 5 for me.
Sure.
Flash, 3 shots. Hostiles have captured the hard point. Subtext prime. Hard point is secure.
I don't know why I just don't expect them to come back for revenge. Like, I do the same thing and I just never expect them to re-push me. Let's see if I can feed this into this window. Hold on. Oh, yeah.
Finish lines in sight. Don't let up. Hard point active.
Calm down, Bucky.
Archangel making noise.
Bucky, calm down.
At the hard point.
I think this is where this adventure ends, to be honest.
LDVR incoming.
Oh, they have an LDVR? Where did they call that in? Oh, oh!
Tango front. Hard point locked down.
So they're intelligent.
Hostiles at the hard point.
Don't fuck with me.
One
If they-
shot helo incoming.
Wait, they're streaking like that?
Hard point is secure. Hostiles have captured the hard
Okay, well, they're making it a game then. Bucky wants to play the game. I'm into it. When I use a chopper, that thing don't kill anything.
point active.
But when the other team uses it, oh my god, no way. When the other team uses it, it kills me over and over again.
Atención, inbound grenade. Tango, rest hands.
All right, all right, all right. This has gone too far now.
UAV inbound.
It's gone too far. I was like 61 and 10. I went on a spree of deaths there. I tell you what, though, if you guys want to see this aim as, go down in the comment section. Let me know.